Hello beautifuls, my name is Quavia and I'm the creator of JuJu Thyme. Today is December 31st and in today's 12 Days of Yule challenge, we are discussing our self-care rituals for winter. And I was really sitting there thinking about this and I realized how mundane my self-care rituals are. I mean, for me, the mundane is still very magical. In my practice, in my way of life, where the mundane ends and my spiritual or witchy work begins, there is no difference, really. So I just thought I would share just a little bit of what I do during winter to just help me maintain me. So for me, it's very important that I look at myself in a holistic way. That I am, when it comes to my self-care, I need to be thinking of aspects that, one, future Quavia would be very appreciative that I did, and that also helps me maintain the present Quavia at a mental, emotional, and spiritual level. And so yeah, that is basically how I sort of gauge my self-care rituals. There is no particular spell work, but for me, there are spells being done. There's energy work being done. There is energy work being moved. That is so important for me. So one of those things I would say a physical and a mental would be exercising during winter. Exercising during winter has been very, very, very vital for me. So I am not a gym girly and I am not a go outside and run girly. Go outside and look at nature, absolutely. Stroll in the park, 1000%. Have picnics, yes, please. But go outside and run or go to the gym, no, it's not, I'm not that girly. But I do love to work out at home, and recently I bought myself on Facebook Marketplace a mini stepper, and I have absolutely, positively loved it. I have loved it so much. For many reasons. So one, it's really convenient in the first place, but also I love how I just get my body moving. I put on some Afro beats, and even though it's just like a stepper, you're just going, up and down, you can move, you can dance, you can like move your waist and everything, and it is so much fun. I really enjoy it so much. And what I realize that this is doing on a physical and mental level that is severely just helping me during this winter and maintaining myself is that I feel as though I am generating my own sun. And when I am working out, there is a heat that is rising inside of me. And for me, it's the kind of heat that resembles the sun. And there's been a lot of moments where even on the darkest days and there's no sun, it is gray, more or less people are miserable, I feel that heat that I've generated in the morning, and I can feel it just radiating out of me. I feel like I'm the sun, in those kinds of moments. And on a mental level, I love the moments when I am going, right? I'm going, And then I get to a point where I just say, I don't think I can do this anymore. I think I'm done, you know? But then that next Afro beat song comes on and that's it. I'm like, wait a minute, this is my jam. And then I go right back on and I am at it again. And when I finish, I'm like, oh, wow, no, I can do it. I'm doing it. I feel like in terms of breaking my own barriers, that is what I'm doing. I am breaking my limitations. I'm breaking what I think is possible for me and realize, wait, no, I have so much more. And it's that kind of realization that I'm able to carry on throughout my day in winter, you know, where I'm not gathering, you know, energy from the sun. Oh goodness, I also absolutely love when, you know, in those moments when I'm just feeling like I don't think I can do this. I realize how energy work has come into play so much because, okay, yes, I have that Afrobeat song, right, that is just pumping me up, but also, so I have a lot of plants that are around me. I have a lot of spirits, a lot of altars for various things and whatnot. And I realized as I'm working out and I'm getting in those moments, I can pull the energy that is like outside of me and pull it inside of me. You know, of course, give thanks and gratitudes for letting me borrow that energy. But I can take that energy into me and I just get this burst of life, and then I can just continue going. And that is a form of energy work. That is a form of conjuring. And I think it's been really powerful in my practice. It's been very powerful just throughout my day because, you know, as I said, I'm not getting a lot of energy from the sun. When the sun, and even if the sun does come out, it is so cold you can't feel it. So to be able to pull that energy from around me so that way I can have the energy that I need, I think, yeah, it's been very beneficial in my self-care and my practice itself. So exercising during winter has been absolutely very, very positive for me. Yeah. So another aspect that is very essential to me, I believe on a mental, physical, and spiritual sense, is the maintenance of my hair and my skin. So first with my hair, for me, and I think for many practices, even outside of African and African diasporic practices, hair carries a lot of energy. And your head in general, within the African and African diasporic practices, your hair and your head, particularly your head, is very important to maintain. So you see a lot of water being used, a lot of baptisms being done, for example, as a way of cleansing. You also see within African and African diasporic practices and traditions as well, the need, especially during initiations, the need to shave your head and be bald and start new again. We'll just leave it as that. And how important that is, you know? So hair is very, very important. And also being a Black woman, Black hair has been criticized, politicized, and just a lot of nonsense, basically. And so I take pride in taking care of my hair, cleansing my hair every single week during winter, especially because of how dry it is. For me, it's very dry. And so also, I forgot to mention when it comes to my hair care, if I'm doing just a normal hair wash for the week, then I do say certain prayers over my head, over my hair, to my ori, and things of that nature. But I also will do on occasion or when it's necessary, a spiritual bath. This is not a bath as in I'm sitting down in a bathtub. It's a different kind of spiritual bath, but anyway, and that would require, of course, certain prayers, and of course certain herbs that I would use that will then bless my head, bless my hair, and things of that nature. And then on a daily basis, when it comes to just the maintenance of my hair and keeping it moisturized and fresh and everything, I do make my own rose water, and of course I spell it with a certain intention, and then I also make a hibiscus cloves rose water, and that is something else that I also spell, and this is something else that I would use daily and say certain prayers, etc. So there is actually, now that I think about it, when it comes to my hair and my head, there is a lot less of the mundane, and there's actual spell work that is done for certain kinds of maintenances that I need for my self-care and for my spiritual self-care, and yeah, and things like this. And also my scalp just really loves it, so yeah, I just continue on with that. So anyway, that's what I wanted to say that I forgot to mention when it comes to the maintenance of my hair. So yeah, taking care of my locks, taking care of my hair is important part of my self-care, especially for me because I work with a lot of energy and I do readings. I do need to make sure that I am properly cleansing my head, cleansing my hair that is maybe holding on to things that are not mine. Also, at a mental level, I've been getting a lot better in pouring into myself, and I feel like when I'm taking care of my hair or I'm taking care of my skin, I am taking care of filling my own cup, of remembering the importance of me because I'm touching myself, you know? When it comes to my skin, I want to moisturize during winter. I want to feel myself. I want to just love myself and just love my skin, love my melanin, you know, and just take care of it and allow it to shine as it's supposed to, you know. My hair and my skin is really important. I also feel like I'm touching my ancestors as well, which allows me to be a little bit more kinder to myself in those moments. It's very intentional. I make sure not to spread hate through my hands. Hands are very powerful, and we can spread a lot of energy just through our hands. And so when I am moisturizing myself, I'm very intentional not to spread hate, because this whatever feature was once a feature of an ancestor, and I love my ancestors and I think they're beautiful. So if I think that they're beautiful, why would I touch myself with hate? Someone else also told me, they asked me, where's your Venus? And I was like, oh, it's in Taurus. And they're like, I understand. So maybe that is also a part of the reason why my, hair care, my skin care is so important to me. Maybe, I guess, I don't know. But I think, why not? Like, why can't it be all of those things? Why not? And also, I forgot to mention so much, a little bit. I also forgot to mention that when it comes to my skin and moisturizing my skin, I love to use oils. I love oils. During winter, my favorite is shea butter. Shea butter is everything to me. And so that is what I would use during winter. It definitely, the oils change depending on the season, but yeah, during winter, shea butter is my go-to. Sometimes I would use almond oil, but yeah, so during winter, I love almond oil and I love shea butter, and that is what I like to use on my skin. So yes. Another aspect of my self-care ritual that I absolutely need is spending quality time with myself. This for me usually looks like me doing all the things that little Quavia loves. So whether that's watching animations while I am eating a piece of chocolate cake and drinking a cup of milk, I think that there's some part of me that feels so fulfilled, and it feels like everything is right in the world, you know, or everything is right at least in this moment in my life. Or spending quality time with myself can also be me playing with my ukulele or painting or just doing something that little Quavia really enjoys. Another thing I've been loving is reading for fun. Just reading for fun. I didn't do that for such a long time, and I was such a big reader. You have no idea. As a punishment, my mom would take away my books because she couldn't take away anything else. If she said, oh, you can't go outside today, I would have been like, okay. like she couldn't punish me any other way but to take away my books. So to read for fun as well, I don't know, I just feel little Quavia just shines and she's happy, which makes me happy, and it's just so much great quality time, especially during winter when quality time is really important. For me, it's a way to embrace the winter. It's a way to embrace the stage of winter that's within myself. And I think for me, this really helps me at that mental and that spiritual level. That is really important. But however, due to the isolation of winter, this winter, I've also been making sure I balance it by spending time with a few of my friends. Nothing too big or crazy, to be honest, but even just hanging out with those few people that I feel really close to, that I love to talk to. Even though I do embrace the aspect of winter that is very isolating and is all about solitude. And yes, I do spend quality time with myself and I bask in that solitude. And I love my solitude. But it's also remembering that I'm human and that I'm being filled by their presence and having just my, my small community around me. I don't know, it's just very beautiful for me. And I think it helps me keep the balance, because I can be quite happy in my solitude for maybe a little too long. And so for this winter, I am balancing it out just a tad bit with reminding myself that I'm not an island and that healing doesn't happen in solitude. You get a lot of tools and awareness in solitude, but it's the actual application of interacting with people that, for me at least, healing can happen. So yeah, that's been something that I've been enjoying in my self-care journey this winter. And I think the last aspect of my self-care ritual that has been really important for me hands down, is my journaling practice. I love journaling. I need journaling. On a mental and spiritual level, it is everything. So I try my best during winter to journal every day for at least 15 minutes. And this is a time where I just write down anything and everything that comes to my mind. Blotting down anything out of my mind without judgment and without holding myself back has been so just beneficial. And I'm doing my journaling a little different lately. So I am definitely a book kind of girl, like having a journal in my hands kind of girl. And I love it. But with the kind of life that I'm living right now, it's not logical. And so I have, for the past few months, I've been journaling on my tablet, which is very different. And so the app that I use to journal, I believe it's called GoodNote. There's pros and cons of journaling through technology, of course. But for right now in my life, it is seeming to be the best situation. I have a lot of journals, and I remember thinking one day where I realized that some of them I will have to throw away, well, burn. I'm not throwing them away, I'll burn them. But some of them I'll have to burn. And it made me really sad that I would have to do that. I am not a minimalist. I'm not a minimalist. I can hear my one friend telling me, oh, that's because your sun is in Taurus. It's like, okay, fine. I don't know. Anyway, so I'm not a minimalist, and I have to be careful about the things that I'm accumulating, because what's happening next, honestly, you all will be on that journey with me, because we will see. I have no idea. And so we will be discovering it together, basically. And I have to be mindful of my journals and my books. I have to be mindful of them. So this is why, for now, I've opted into journaling through my tablet. And so far, I've been really liking it. I believe I've been doing this for the past, how many months? I would say maybe 4 months I've been doing this. So I have 4 months of 2023 writings, and I downloaded it, and I emailed it to myself, and I stored it away in my other hard drives and stuff. And that made me feel good. And it just made me like realize that for now, this might be the way to go. We'll see. We will see. But as of now, I am really liking it. I've already started my journal for 2024 since, you know, today's December 31st. So today's journaling was a lot of reflections. But yeah, journaling and getting all that mind, especially mentally, putting all that mind energy down is really, really beneficial for me. Absolutely beneficial. Especially when it comes to my record keeping of my dreams. So yeah, those are some of my self-care rituals that I do during winter. I would also say, for some special mentions, I would say that eating good food during winter, a lot of earthy foods, a lot of soupy foods, I love. I would also say I love during winter adorning myself. And even though I can't wear my summer and spring clothes outside, I can wear them in the house. I don't have to wait for a special occasion to wear something pretty. I can just wear it because why not? You know, why not? And so every so often, not all the time, that's not practical, but it's nice for me to like just put on something nice that I would wear during summer or spring. Definitely turn on my heater a little bit and then just go about my day in the house and whatnot. So yeah, that is also a special mention, I would say, that I do for my self-care. And I think the last special mention would be self-pleasure. I think self-pleasure in general is important for self-care, but I can only speak for myself. I think self-pleasure is important, very similar to the exercise aspect, like feeling this radiation of the sun, basically feeling this radiation of fire and having that radiate through me throughout the day, I think is very much important for my self-care ritual. So basically, my self-care rituals, they help maintain me at a mental, emotional, physical, and spiritual level. I look at myself in a holistic kind of way. And in general, I would say that my self-care rituals help me, I think, at a magical level. When I take care of myself, I am able to maintain and hold my manifestations and my spell work a lot more better. What's very important to me is that whatever ritual or whatever spell that I do to bring something into my life, I need to make sure that I can maintain it in this physical realm. I can maintain it mentally, I can maintain it emotionally, physically, spiritually, because I don't want to draw something into my life, but because, for example, emotionally, I'm not right, it doesn't have a safe foundation. And so self-care, even though it's mundane, it's so mundane, I know, but it helps with my conjuring, it helps with my spell work, it helps with my manifestations, and it also helps with my channeling, with my readings. And so this is partly why my self-care is very important, because I want to make sure that I show up for myself first and foremost, that I love myself first and foremost, but then I also have more than enough to then share, you know, share with others that are with me along this journey. So yeah, that is a bit of my self-care rituals that I do. I really enjoyed this conversation because I think there's beauty in the mundane. For me, spirit is everywhere. Spirit is everything. And so even in the mundane, there is no separation for me. So anyway, beautifuls, that is my self-care rituals that I do for winter. I hope that you enjoyed it or find some inspiration. And I'm really excited to see others' videos on their self-care rituals, whether it's the mundane or it's the magical, because I think there's a lot of inspiration and there's a lot that I can learn as well. And so yeah, I like it. I like it a lot. Anyway, thank you very much for being here again, and until the next one, truth and love.